I'm Frank from Vitamin Blue. I'm at Infinity Surfboards in Dana Point, California. I'd like to thank Steve, Barry, and Dave Bainey for letting me use their shop to demonstrate how to measure a board for a custom board bag. I'm going to start with a SUP race board. And they can be kind of difficult to measure width and thickness because of the displacement hull. So on these types of boards, I do circumference measurements at certain measurement points. Circumference measurements are also good for prone paddle boards and whitewater SUP boards. Also, in some cases, they can be good for waveski boards. Any type of board that's difficult to get width and thickness measurements off of. The first measurement is the length of the board. And secondly, on race boards, usually you have at the tip, you'll have, it's kind of thick. And I'll need the height at the very tip nose of the board. The second measurement I'll need is from the handle placement. And I'll need a measurement from the nose to the center of the handle. Usually, SUP race boards, the handles are right dead center. However, if your handle is off center, I'll need a second measurement from the rail to wherever you handle, the center of your handle, wherever it's placed if it's off center. Now, to take circumference measurements, ideally if you have a soft measuring tape, that works best. However, if you don't, and most people don't, you can use a piece of string. And all you do is you wrap it around at the various measurement points to get your measurement, and then you lay it up against a hard measuring tape. The measurements I need are 12 inches down, their circumference at that point, 36 inches down, the circumference, if necessary, 72 inches down, the circumference, at the center of your board, the circumference, and then we do the same measurement process from the tail. 12 inches up from your tail, the circumference, 36 inches up, and if necessary, 72 inches up, the circumference. Most SUP race boards have a square tail, and if your board does have a square tail, I'll need the width at the tail end of your board. If you have a rounded pin SUP race board, just let me know that. For your fin slot placement, we can either do an open fin slot or a Velcro fin slot. Most people prefer a Velcro fin slot just in case they do travel and for a long distance and they take their fin out, you can Velcro the bag closed. I'll need two measurements. The first measurement is from the tail end of your board to the tip end of your fin, where your fin rakes back. And the second measurement would be from the tip end of your fin to the top of your fin box. Recently, I've noticed that some SUP boards are having installed, side bite fins, Larry Ellison side bite fins installed. And if you do have side bite fins on your SUP race board, I'll need to get the placement of those just so that I can make the bag wide enough at the tail so that the fins will fit inside the bag. And the measurement for side bite fins would be from the tail to the center point of your side bite fin box. At that point, I'll need the circumference measurement. And then the third measurement I'll need is the height of one of your side bite fins. The next type of board that we'll measure is a SUP surfboard. The same measurement technique is going to be used for a SUP surfboard, an SUP Simmons type board, or a surfboard, a longboard or a shortboard. It's the same method. First, we'll need the length of the board. Second, the shape of the nose. This nose right here is similar to a shortboard. The nose is pulled in, let me know that. Or if you have a round nose, like a longboard, a full round nose, let me know that. On these type of boards, it's best to use width and thickness measurements. It'll give your bag will have a little bit more room, but that'll be fine. Just in case you do decide to travel, you'll have a little bit of room to wrap your rails. Also, on a more daily use, if it's a surfboard or even a SUP surfboard or a regular standard surfboard, if you have a little bit of room in your bag and your wax happens to melt, you'll have a little bit of room to wedge your board out, and it's just more practical. The measurements that I'll need are 12 inches down, the width of your board and the thickness at that point, 36 inches down, width and thickness, the center of your board, the width and thickness, up from your tail 36 inches, the width and thickness. Also for your handle placement, I'll need the measurement from your nose to the center of your handle. This particular handle is dead center. However, on most SUP surfboards, the handle is offset, so I'll need a second measurement from your rail to the center of your handle. Next is, I'll need to know the shape of your tail, if it's squared off, or if it's a rounded pin, or if you do have a SUP Simmons, the tails are really wide. They're anywhere from 10 inches wide to more likely 15, 16 inches wide. I'll need the width at the tail end of your board. Now there are two tri-fin setups, either a large center fin and two side bites, or another tri-fin setup is a thruster setup, which is three fins that are roughly the same size.
Never heard that one before. I'll take it.
The first measurement that I'll need is from the tail to the tip end of the fin, where your fin rakes back. And then that's one measurement. Then the second measurement is from the tip end of your fin to the top of your fin box. And again, let me know if you want an open fin slot or if you'd like a Velcro fin slot. The next measurement I'll need is for your side bites. The measurement is from the tail end of your board to the center of your side bite fin box. At that point, I'll need the width and thickness of your board and the height of one of your side bite fins. The next fin setup is a thruster style tri-fin setup where the three fins are roughly the same size. The first measurement I'll need is from the tail end of your board to the center of your forward side bite fin. Then I'll need the width of your board, the thickness, and the height of one of the forward fins. And the next measurement I'll need is from the tail to the center of your trailing fin. At that point, I'll need the width of your board, the thickness, and the height of your trailing fin. Now for a quad fin setup, I'll need the measurement from your tail end to the center of your forward fin box. At that point, I'll need the width of your board, the thickness, and the height of your forward fin, one of the forward fins. The next measurement I'll need is from the tail end of your board to the center of your trailing fin box. At that point, I'll need the width of your board, the thickness, and the height of one of the trailing fins. Thanks. I'm Frank from Vitamin Blue. The water's good for you.